Доброе утро, мой пытливый зритель. Всем большой. Продолжаем замечательный сюжет, захватывающий, я бы сказал. Фоллет, Столпы Земли. Теперь я понял название. Столпы Земли — это люди. Ну, я догадывался, что это про людей, конечно. Да. На людях мир держится. Как разрушить, так и созидать, да. Ну, такой смысл. Кто-то строит, кто-то разрушает. Это в душе, то бишь, строя добрые люди разрушают злые. А тут вот у нас пример непредсказуемости жизни, когда потомственная графиня по утрам, выйдя замуж за строителя, пусть и мастера, уважаемая профессия, никто не спорит, борщ ему утром должна подать. Купила посудку, хоп, специи, это дорого. Да. Ой. Короче, позавтракал муж. 2 дня он завтракал, блядь. Неделю. 5 дней я все считаю, блядь. Не. О, бум. Вот женщины, как так? А этот... Ну, может, ты хороший муж, плохой человек, но хороший муж. Такое бывает, если ты говно для других, может, и для жены. Для жены ты ништяк. Сейчас мы ножичек на тебе испытаем. Не хочет. Чувак. Ну ладно, давай готовить. Похлебочка со специями. Короче, она готовит хавать. Чесночок. Или картоха. А, яички. Вкусненько. Ой, хорошо, что я сам себе умею готовить. Мне баба не нужна. В этом плане не нужна. Так-то нужна.
Could you afford it? That's up to the proprietor. He said he'd come over around. Maybe he could eat with us.
О, яичницу пожарим.
You could help me, I think.
А ты не можешь?
It would be good for you. You haven't left the house in 2 weeks. 17 days.
Это я показываю, что, сука, тяжело. Из дома я бы не смог так близко до улицы там. Что бы еще приготовить? Подкать можно. Все пожрали, блядь. Опять готовить. Да, но иногда подбешивает. В семье должны готовить все уметь. Все абсолютно, блядь. Яичница, заебок. Куда ты ее в кастрюлу, блядь? Ну ладно. В казане просто пожарить, понятно.
Would you like venison with it? No. Aesthetic as always. It's just...
Сори. Так, мужу пофиг. Чё?
You are suggesting that we... Yes. Since the fleece fair, they've been... Yes. Especially since they know they don't... It sounds to me like we would be tempting them to...
Да, за работу надо платить. Эй! Нельзя, да, платить за незаконченную работу, я тоже считаю. Они так охуеют, да. Мы их не рисуем.
Yes, you said that. Your idea shows. Thank you, Father. But Lady Aliena is right. It'd be only a matter of time till the devils of.
Да, да, да.
But that's not the point.
Филипп
I
прав.
could never promise them coin, because one cannot give. Ever since the market collapsed, we may even run out. What?
Достроят по-любому.
But what about?
Please stop pitying yourself.
What if we build faster? You always said a finished cathedral, people on their coin. Is that an master builder?
But yes,
Нога болит.
the designs could be theirs.
I can do it. All right.
Что там, горит у тебя? Горит, горит плита. Беги, блядь. Садитесь хавать. А, правильно. Когда все хорошо сварилось, оно вкуснее, чем полусырое. Ни туда, ни сюда. А! Я же хотел разморозить кое-что. Хорошо, что в игре баба готовила, блин. Ну ладно, не получилось. Оп, приятного аппетита. Сестренка.
I'd never thought that my brother could work so hard. He really cares about. I would never have thought. Alfred has changed. He seems really concerned about things now. I can't wait for you to give me a little nephew or niece.
Ой-ой-ой, это... Сменить тему.
Well, enough about Alfred. Actually...
О, сейчас покрасим.
It's from a woad merchant in
Спальню.
Winchester. Oh, thank you, I guess. Now I've... How's it going? I'm taking my time. What does Sir Richard... I haven't... When he comes here, he's... But that's the deal. He fights and I pay. The coat of arms shall remind us of who we are. Have you decided on an animal yet? You really should have an animal.
Ну, птицы я не очень. Давайте не банальная медведь.
It will sport. Oh,
Русский.
scary. Ali, I'm so sorry that I just thought in the last...
Немного не спали.
Oh, you're not getting fat. You forget that there's not a lot. Then we should take a hike soon. I'd like that. But
Ну
not
пойдем.
today. I need to get it done while I...
Медведика. Быстро я зашил медведя, да? А! Не, никаких детей от нелюбимого. Ну, он старается. Ну, хорошая жена, ты готовишь. Запутал.
I had to marry Al. I wish that Jack would have understood. Only money and with Alfred as a husband. And ever since we've been married, he's been working deep in... And when he's home, he expects nothing in return. He is trying his best to make our arrangement work. And I try to be...
Ну надо было на берегу договориться, что, блядь,
I did what I
никаких...
had to do when I married. But what I didn't know back... I am pregnant with your grandchild.
You brought this on yourself. You had the love of your life, but you...
Do you scorn me for what?
No more than anyone else. First and foremost, I blame that priest who turned my son into a monk, but you're a very close second.
Ну, отлично.
What if I brought Jack?
Oh, Ali. Jack has left. I want you to know one thing.
Да я знаю.
That makes you still family. If you can't have his baby, give it
Еще
to
б
me.
моя жена знала, что я ее люблю.
I will raise it far away from this crooked world that had no room for my son.
I don't want to give our child away.
Then you cannot stay here.
But I have to. It's finished. I want you to wear it when you go to battle. To remind us of what we...
Плащ. Брату
Why a
подарил.
bear?
Because it's a strong and clever... It urges us to be its equal. If we don't use our power...
You hear that, Alfred? I'm a bear.
Мудак ты, блядь. Дурачок. Ха-ха, лошара.
Grow up, Richard. This is...
Sorry.
How's the war going?
It can't go on forever.
The good thing is, William Hamley... In our last battle, he ran away when he... They say he was afraid to die before he set...
His mother.
No one's seen her in years. But rumor has it she's still alive and joyfully mention her to William, and he goes as pale. Ali, we are so close, but we...
Is there anything you need from me?
Well, a new saddle would be nice.
I'll see to it.
And a horse to put it on, of course.
Right.
А в прошлого попало
I'll be
много.
out for a while. I've got...
All right.
Наконец-то. Иди гуляй. Так, борщ доварен, блядь. Крона, разве было в Англии крона? А у него нет.
It's only a keepsake now. I haven't used it. I won't let go. It's only a keepsake now.
Порезать хлебушка.
I haven't used it for...
Так, мужики, все тут сами, короче, на хозяйстве, я по делам. Идите в жопу. Надоели. О, проветрить.
Oh, don't say... I'll see you later.
Ah, there you are.
Ой,
I
красиво.
always wondered what it would have been.
Oh, it's cold. When I was young, I spent a night... If it hadn't been for her soup, I would have...
И игрушку еще тебе пацик дал.
I won't let go of it.
Тоже правильно. Конечно, речной транспорт очень круто.
It's only a keepsake now. What kind of
I think it had
deer?
Yes. Jack had caught it before we met.
But hunting...
I know. It's punishable by Jack never was one for rule.
Ага. Прикиньте, раньше, да, оленя убил в лесу. На.
He was always busy with something.
Jack? Yes.
Да я не могу навестись на Марту, блин. Да, блин. Ну. Офигеть. Не наводится. Курсор куда-то. И как теперь мне дальше? Как отсюда выйти, блин? Я уже не хочу наслаждаться. О, перевелся, блин.
You will... What? But don't tell Alf.
You still think marrying him was...
I do.
I do too. But you did it for very good... So, maybe it wasn't. Not in a loving way, but...
Maybe...
Да, это может
But...
быть.
What was that?
Ай-яй-яй, сократили, блядь, расходы. Ёб вашу мать. Да ну нафиг, что за непруха, блядь. А этот говорил, Джек, про трещину. А я не говорил быстрее.
Alfred tried to build...
You're with child. How can you be with...
My cub is gone and will never... You threw it all away for a life of...
Without a cathedral, my mother will spend an eternity. And by God, I can't stay. I'm sorry.
Ушел. Офигеть, напортачил и ушел.
There. We've been crying for...
Ну... Ебануться, как все, блядь. Точно, это житуха такая и есть, блядь. Ой, сколько ж пиздюлин все-таки люди выдерживают, блядь, это... Говорят, это Бог посылает, это просто пиздос. Такая смесь неудачи. Удач, конечно. Вот я и говорю, богатеют только прущие люди. Это не от ума зависит, не от, блядь. Вот повезло. Нужное место, нужное время.
We will build a cathedral right here, towering high above Shiring. But it will not be a cheap undertaking.
Money is no object. I shall build it for our Lord and my mother.
Которую хотели завалить твои друзья.
So that the Lord will heal her.
I am sure he will. Ah, yes, there he is.
Who?
We will need a master builder.
My bishop, I think I have the right...
Ох, офигеть. Чувырло, блядь. Короче, тебе как...
My name is Alfred Builder.
Пипец, переметнулся. Блядь. А что Том, строитель? Ну, нога болит, но он же шарит. Каменная крыша, блядь. Рыжий, вот и палево, блядь. А, тут тоже рыжий. Уплыла? Куда? Во Францию? Конец главы, конец книги второй. Вот это жесть. Сейчас встретятся с Джеком. Должно же чудо.
Next time on the Pillars of the Earth.
Ого!
Witness the climactic final part of the series.
It's time we take back what was taken from us.
О!
It's time to face our
Будет замес, Джек есть.
To make a stand for what we believe in.
Ой, Филипп старенький, мамка старая.
Book 3. The Eye of the Storm.
Сердце, око бури. Это там, где никого не трогает. Ну, там, где тишина. Запилась в звездки на Фоллет. Давайте третью начинать быстрее. Бля, не могу, интересно, капец. Не могу остановиться. А зачем останавливаться?
She was one of the fastest vessels that was ever built. The man who should be king of the English now, the son of King Henry, was on board when she sailed off. And with the prince there were 140 knights and many nobles.
Ну, во Францию.
All on their way from Normandy to England. They say the ship hit the rocks, and then a fire broke out.
Да ну
Even before
нафиг.
the white ship had departed, the prince and his men had begun to drink and get violent. Monks that were meant to bless the voyage were then forced to disembark. Some say the ship had been cursed. The king's son, many of his family, were pulled down into the Black Sea that night.
Все, жопа, блин. 11. Да как так? Что ж такое, блин?
You're forgetting one important detail. Not only these monks, but also Stephen of Blois, the king's nephew, left the ship before it embarked. They say he got ill.
That old rumor.
The same Stephen who calls himself the...
What? That cannot...
Yes, it can be. Of course he's king.
What do you think, my lord?
I think Stephen is a clever man. But why he would want to rule that godforsaken rock, I will never...
What makes you say that? I love my country.
Then why are you leaving?
Well, because I want to see something new.
I'll tell you what you're going to see.
Посмотрим. Скала посредине. Ну да, в чем-то прав.
I'm looking for some.
For who?
You English do talk.
I just don't know how to feel about leaving. I mean, how should anyone feel?
Надежду. Это точно умирает
I
последний.
don't know.
Даже
Maybe I'm
после
just running
любви надежда остается, когда любовь умирает.
You should all get some rest. It will not be long now.
Thank the Lord. I can't wait to be back.
Такая жизненная, надо книгу читать полюбас. Что-то я давно, кстати, ничего не читал. Хитрый. Ту-туру-ту. Вот почему такие произведения, где там житуха и замесы, допустим, как песнь льда и пламени, там столько всякой вот этой жизненной хрени, пусть оно утрировано там, конечно, перенесено как бы фэнтези, там, ну дракон такой, блядь, не элементы, да, я бы сказал. Да, блядь, вот такое все бывает в жизни, понажирались, не уследили за диверсантом, блядь, ты, сука, как так убить всю семью, блядь. Ну, понятно, они там виделись раз в пятилетку, эти родственники, далеко все это. Там только дорога месяц занимала. Ну, не месяц, а неделю. А сейчас из-за работы тоже родственники редко видятся, надо копеечку, блядь. Шербургские зонтики.
1142, I had left my home country, England, for good. My old life lay in shambles, as did my former home of Kingsbridge. Having failed both my friends and family, I had set out to find my baby's father, the man I still love. And so early one morning in July, I finally arrived with nothing on me but a pouch of coin and a young, curious face yet unnamed.
Ага, такой же любопытный, весь в папку, блядь. Белый корабль, это пипец. Генрих, блядь. Я думал, он из-за пожара напоролся. Блядь, сколько эти монахи, ну монахи, я имею в виду, вот эти вот священнослужители натворили, блядь. Маленький пиздюк.
Where did you go? He just fell asleep.
Маленький пиздюк заснул.
I don't want to leave it behind just.
Так, это мои.
Where did you go, Jack?
Мужик, поговори со мной, а то я тебя подрежу.
I should keep my dad.
Молодец, вооруженная.
You're still here.
Oh, I'm just trying to get my feet used to good. The last bit of our voyage wasn't exactly my.
I'm looking for someone. He came to France about a year.
A fellow Mason. Unfortunately, I wouldn't know a thing. After all, I just.
I know, but tell him Aliena of Shah.
All right, Jack.
Thank you.
Отлично.
That hammer you're carrying.
Actually, I am.
I get.
To be honest, I haven't been one long. Just finished. Before that, I used to shear sheep with my parents. But I get. Father still hates me for leaving, though.
What will you do to...
Don't know. All I heard was that the wages are better over here.
So you'll just travel from...
Right. And a fellow Mason told me about the abbey there. I need to see that with my own eyes.
Лес. Ага.
Do many Masons?
I don't know. It's really... The Mason who told me just happened to do some repairs. It's likely he told others as well.
I left my old...
Scary, isn't it? Just...
Well, you definitely...
Oh, I am excited. Wouldn't anyone be?
I don't know.
I don't
Have a safe...
know.
Oh, thank you.
Know. Опа, рыжий, иди сюда. Это ты отец ребенка, блядь. Это не он это был. У того...
Good day.
Здрасте.
I am looking for someone. Oh, hush now.
Hush.
Looks young.
He was born...
What's his name?
I haven't...
You should. Makes growing up.
Ну, он будет знать. Шотландец какой-то, ребят.
You said you're looking for someone.
The man I'm looking for.
So he has red hair. Well, I don't know every redhead around these parts. Most of my family here in Cherbourg is ginger.
Oh, wait.
No. No, sorry. Maybe a maid saw him. She helps the sailors get their cargo.
I'll ask her.
О, спасибо. Хорошая подсказка, молодец. Таксистов надо опрашивать. Полиция так и делает.
Talk to a maid. The coach.
I'm afraid I can't...
Сейчас тебя подрежу.
I'm only keeping it. Look.
Well, that's quite far.
No, maybe...
Мало ли.
Where did you go?
Вот еще тетка, блин. Ты кто? Ага, не, подождите, надо на рынок сходить. Посмотреть, что как.
Where did you go?
Угу. Тут все не так просто, блин.
Have you seen a red head? You must have landed here some...
Another ginger in Normandy. Maybe you should ask someone in Barfleur. That's where all their lot rarely lands in Cherbourg, with the fortress passing back and forth between Stephen of Blois. Why you even came to Cherbourg in the first place baffles me.
It was the earliest ship I...
It must be in some...
Let's just say I needed to get away.
Fine with me.
Так, до хрена.
Do you know the road?
Been there, but I hope you're not planning to go there. Tell you what, you can even change your destination once we're on the road.
What other routes are?
Oh, I don't know really, but Barfleur sounds like a good place to start. Shake my hand and I'll take...
Бафлер. Сейчас, подожди. Надо еще поспрашивать. Это рыжий со мной базарит. Хавать яблочко, ловит рыбку, заебок нахуй.
Apart from Barfleur.
Apart from well, there's Harfleur. Sometimes people even go. You could ask a maid to take.
I might.
Maybe I should have a safe.
Спасибо, мужик. Барфлер, Арфлер, блядь. Нормандские гавани, карта, блядь. Так, что там Ла-Манш проплыть? Не Барфлер. Онфлер. Так, на войну я не хочу. Давай, блядь. Чё поближе начнем, чё подешевле.
Hey you, that's quite a bad... Changed your mind, man? You know, I reserved a...
Давай, поехали.
All right. Where'd you need to be?
А я грибу. Сейчас поближе, короче, посмотрим. Онфлер. Бахфлер. Онфлер. Да поближе, конечно. Мон-Сен-Мишель.
Versailles was tiny, but as it turned out, worth the trip. In the small abbey church of the Trinity, I met a monk who claimed to have talked to a man fitting Jack's description. He'd been fascinated by the abbey's rib vault. I lay down to sleep on the floor of the abbey guest house, and for the first time...
Так, мы нашли Джека, потому что... Мон-Сен-Мишель. А чё я в Бафлер не поплыл, блядь? Выбрал другой путь. Лиман! О, 24 часа Лимана там.
Long ago, the Archangel Michael had urged Hubert of Avranches to build an abbey on a... It was a windy day when I arrived, and the place was crowded with pilgrims and jongleurs. I remembered Jack. Apparently, Jack had been hopelessly tracking jongleur who might have known his father, Jack Sherburne.
Лиман.
But as he'd been...
Ну, тогда Лиман, конечно. Все я в Лимане не был никогда.
Going to Le Mans reminded me of all the trouble I'd left behind in England. 30 years ago, Le Mans had been conquered by the Plantagenet Geoffrey. There was no sign of Jack. but I got news of a new kind of cathedral being built in Saint-Denis, just north of Paris. It was possible that Jack had got...
Тур. Париж сразу. О, Сен-Дени. Орлеан, Париж. Давайте по очереди. Буржуа. Из Буржа. Я правильно приехал. Но я так и не побывал в Париже. Сен-Дени. Сейчас найду его тут. О, прораб. Сейчас она узнает его руку. Ага, ага.
Where did you go, Jack? I don't want to leave it behind just like that. I don't want to stress him too.
Опа.
Where did you go?
Помолиться.
Where did you go? Good day. Are you the master builder?
What is it?
I'm looking for a mason who may... An Englishman with... Yes. Did you...
No, I'm not looking for new...
Ah, but what...
No, never... Now, stand back, woman. Something could fall...
I was told...
Maybe he changed his...
Что-то он темнит.
I am.
Сейчас я его зарежу, блядь.
You hesitated. Are you sure you...
Yes.
May I talk...
No, they're busy.
Perhaps I'll talk to them one...
It would be a way...
Да, сейчас все расскажет.
All right, all was working for me, but I...
Why?
Because he was all want.
Так это Ленин,
Let
блядь.
me redesign the roof. Let me make the nave lighter. All pretty ideas, but he never shut up. Shit, that man was almost as needy as mine.
He does...
Well, I know masons like him. Can't work with...
Do you know where he went next?
No idea. Maybe to Limoges or Angoulême. Seen
Ля
their plans for
Рошель.
every cathedral on God's green earth.
Д'Артаньян оборонял Ля Рошель.
I'll leave you to it.
Bon voyage.
Бон вояж. Ой, выгнал. Так, ну, следарь есть уже, хорошо. Опля, я уже... И, конечно, Ля Рошель, я там всех знаю.
We had just left Tours when I suddenly felt dizzy. I stopped and made rep.
Ой,
To my
бля.
horror, our baby too had grown pale.
Что делать?
I managed to walk until the sun had fully risen before I keeled over. A knife merchant who'd... Back in Tours, the fever got worse. I remember people carrying... When I awoke, Jack was standing next... He scolded me for following him. You know you could go anywhere you want. I tried to answer, but he just opened the window and jumped out, heading...
Сейчас она с ним во сне будет разговаривать.
The further I went, the angrier I got. For years I'd been fighting for my family. I'd known nothing but my duty to the men in my life, while the man I was trying to find live a life of... When could I ever do anything just...
Бедная. Кингсбридж. Вернусь, посмотрю, что там.
I'd travelled in a circle all the way to the edge of the world and back, only to return to the place of our failure. With...
Выздоровел.
When the last moat had settled, I opened my eyes again and found myself in a dirty little room. Oh, dear God. I tried to feed him, but he refused. Oh, please, God, let him... I gently caressed... We had both been spared. This isn't a good place for praying. I thank you, dear.
All right, steady now.
Thank you for having spared my... I thank you.
Don't let go until it's done.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed Jack. And if I never return, I would also... It's just that I feel like I've always fought, and this may be the very...
Пора. И мне пора так сделать. Всегда для других. Для себя и не жил. Не, ну это для себя жил. Это мой выбор. Но приходилось, да, усилия делать. Гномик. Неф.
I've seen one of those. It's amazing. The man who did that really...
I agree.
Oh, you knew?
Yes, but...
It's a shame that in just 1 month he did so many things.
The master builder said...
The two didn't really see. To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he fit. The last thing Jack did was carved. It was the one thing the master let him. Then when he was done...
Your master's...
Let me Jacques worked very hard. He was impatient and had a temper, but conquering that rock was...
Oh. Do you happen to know where he went?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de...
The Camino? The way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his...
Just one more thing.
Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for...
Thank you so much for...
Think nothing.
Прям как про меня. Меня тоже с работы выгнали. Когда я пошел искать новую жизнь.
Isn't it odd? Just when you stop looking, you like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
Oh no. Is it another one of your Banu? They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly...
I will let my valued friend from the north...
Опа, чувак механизмы изобретает. Нифига он в Аравию и... Ничего себе уехал. А, это Франция.
For one, let me draw your attention to the magnificent songbird on the table. And then to that wondrous donkey next to the entrance.
This isn't part of the presentation.
Although, the most astounding thing of all...
I think they've seen slingshots before. They won't be impressed with this.
Statuette? Ha-ha, precisely. But, one thing at a time...
No, it's too heavy.
Let us let Jack decide what to demonstrate.
This isn't part of the presentation.
He likes to take his time, doesn't he?
Ага, паровая машина.
Otherwise,
I agree.
Да я и так догадываюсь. Сейчас она закипит, блядь. И птичка будет... Да.
Well, how marvelous. How does it work? Maybe. Right. Go on.
There's a hidden wheel in it turns an axle that in return raises and drops. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing?
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually...
The power of steam? Of course! It was... Let's not... What else have you got?
Anyone care for some?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some.
Mind if I what?
Of course.
Опля, осторожно, блядь.
So,
Арабские женщины. Красивые.
No, it's too heavy.
Jack is a friend of the house. A brilliant man, a scholar and a talented artist.
Don't let me distract you.
Вот сучка. На.
You've seen my slingshot?
Yes, but it's very strong.
I think they've seen slingshots, but...
What is that?
A Greek who wrote a book called The Elements of Geometry.
I could watch this.
The Egyptians translated it into Arabic, and now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
How very peculiar.
No, it's for the presentation.
Сейчас он поедет.
Now, watch that. Just any moment. There. Did you see it threw up? Rashid! Off! Would you kindly explain?
You see that bowl floating on top? At the bottom of that bowl is a small hole. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which this, in return, pulls the...
Thus,
if you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball,
turning it into a clock.
For me, it's...
Show us.
One could join those two and build one song up.
That would be...
I know, right? You could be the one to...
Oh, that would be unfair.
I would let you have it.
You still haven't shown us that.
Of course, Jack. Oh, you will love this.
And just be patient. It takes some time to do.
Остыло.
Isn't that no, it Rashid, what did...
We have no idea how...
Rashid. We all know, and this piece of wood is very...
I very much agree, but so far...
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes...
Like a plant at...
Rosa.
Like dew. The only difference is the serp...
She's right.
Of course, I had no... But if you can find out... So...
I'll have some.
Your daughter is...
I know. It would make marrying her off, so...
Certain that once. Maybe the dew originates from water that stays hidden when it's...
Ну, пар, ты же видел, как конденсируется, поэтому что ты... Поэтому ты мог догадаться. Джек!
The pilgrim trails across France converged at Osterbat in the foothills of the Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been traveling alongside me said some were prosperous citizens, some probably on several languages were spoken, including Flemish, a German tongue, and a southern French language called. Nevertheless, there was no lack of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, while my baby and I kept mostly to ourselves.
Все правильно, не надо там. Мало ли какие люди. Пиздюк, ты спокойно. Кинт, ты немец?
Hush.
Опа, кто здесь? Так, кинжал у меня есть?
Richtig dreist. Kann ein Mann nicht einfach mal seine Ruhe haben? Der Weg aus Babenberg war doch anstrengend genug.
I'm glad I never had to use my. I'm only. I already tried that.
Hat ja auch gar nichts verloren.
I cannot burn my thoughts, and I.
Jetzt ist aber gut.
He likes the warmth.
Бросить костюм. Может, ему книжку почитать?
I cannot burn my.
Так, там кусты.
They didn't have any clues. Where are you?
Бомжевать тут с вами под мостом. Ой, это поп.
Tomorrow. I must. Where are you? Dear Lord, what you should get out of the.
My ring. I lost. Dear Lord, please. Come back to me. Please come back to me.
I'm glad I never had to use my. I'm only keeping. She's not listening. The cold will kill.
I can't leave.
She's not listening. She's not listening. She's not listening.
Если ее подрезать.
Where are you?
I'm
Where
glad I
did
never
you
had
go?
to use my dagger on my. I'm only keeping it. She's not listening. She's not listening.
Так а чем ей помогу?
I'm glad I never had to use. I'm only.
А, вот оно, ёбан. Лошара, на.
I found it.
Yes. Oh, you are a very kind.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
А, она слепая, ёбан. Извините за лошару. Она просто шарила под водой.
Are you getting?
I am, thank you.
I can see this ring.
It was a gift. She thought I would stay forever.
Tell me about.
She was such a kind.
Why did you leave?
Oh, I thought I did. She always said I was her daughter. I was so selfish. And
maybe you.
I was very young, and but in the end, the cold there made me sick.
Еще раз он в воду полезла от тебе.
Why didn't you go?
She had been so angry and disappointed.
Ah, that's what.
Yes. So that I'm just not as kind.
You're too...
I don't know.
I too am trying to make amends. I was told he went...
You will know soon.
Not soon enough.
He'll be there.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, and that the only thing I can allow my...
Да нет, любит он тебя, он сразу.
Not long now, and our journey will be
Такие
over.
люди, как Джек, не меняются. Он если... Ну, я вот по характеру смотрю. Он не разозлится. Ракушечка.
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia. I quickly got used to her constantly. I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking. Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose. But what was there to forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shiring. It was a sacrifice Around Lyon, the path began to gradually turn uphill. It was only 2...
Ну, отлично. Сейчас вам испортят настроение.
After Astorga, the trail got more difficult. Alba became slower and slower, and we had to rest.
Ну, дошли.
The next morning, she refused to get up. Her breathing was disturbingly...
Да и лучше уже не будет, но я побуду.
Of course, I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side.
Нет, ты одна не
I'd hardly
умрешь.
known her, and most of the time she'd tried to push me away. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place,
Да,
dying
да.
next to a near stranger,
Она хотя бы
she'd found
умерла
when I left,
на
that
руках
thought still
кого-то.
haunted me. To
Печаль.
see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly.
Да, да, да. Она в надежде. Умерла с надеждой. Это хорошо. Кто-то ее хотя бы держал за руку. Это круто. Добрый человек рядом. Энергетика
After months
все-таки.
of hard travel, the child and I finally reached Santiago de Compostela. It was almost dawn when finally...
О, отель. Собачка. Мелкий, смотри, собачка. Безымянный ты. Крысы, фу. Сейчас мы их расхреначим.
He's sleeping.
А я его не трогаю.
Where are you, Jack?
Погреем. Очень хорошо. И мелкого
Better
погреть.
let him rest.
Мелкий не хочет.
I must...
Да сейчас найдем. Так, собачка.
I already tried that.
Значит, надо в гостиницу искать.
I'm looking for a...
El logo anda sempre cun libro en riba.
Энрида, да. Читать она не... Копесо. Эль Нинья. Это девочка. Ну, сейчас мы ее рубанем.
Oh, qué cousinha. Эти Руби.
Sí.
Рубио, точно. И я Рубио ищу.
Have you seen his Jack Jackson?
Ven siendo un peregrino.
Peregrino, да.
Oh, he's not a pilgrim.
Эль Рубио строитель, блядь.
He's a mate.
Ay, mal rayo, me partas entiendo que...
Блядь. Дом построить.
She knows that Jack like... Now I need to somehow tell... He likes to cry like jars.
Ay, qué diantres andará a decir a mujeres.
Мучареса. Но интеллект, блядь.
Nena, que te...
Translator.
Agora mesmo están... Case che diría que volvas mañana.
Call me mañana, блядь. Сука, бля, вон собор, сука, покажи.
He's a mason.
Mason, Albanés.
Sí, a mason.
Por aquí pasan unha morea de masóns.
Pazán.
Non me podías dicir algo máis sobre él?
Oín falar dun masón que dis que se dedica a traducir libros en Toledo.
Polo visto...
Yes, Jack.
Non sei cal será o seu apelido, pero... Ben é certo que non chai moitos masóns rubios aos que lles guste ler. Se tan desesperada está, por que non vai a Toledo?
Entón, marchou para Toledo.
Ah.
Are you...
Di que o teu Jack.
All right, Gracinia. I just...
Я в кабак даже не зашел. Блядь. Выгнали. Португалия? А, это граница. Очуметь, Толедо. Так это уже Испания, что ли? На границе с Португалией это же уже Испания. Ну, Толедо это не хер. Вот это он забрел.
Of course.
I was told a man named Jack.
Who told you this?
A group of scholars living. They said he used to translate old script.
Please wait here. I will...
А, он у этих арабов в Испании же, как капец. Замесы, блядь. Арабы умные, блядь. Цифры нам дают. Ученых много. Астрономов, блядь.
Please be here. What if I never find him? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Imagine living... What will he think of...
Ну это да, пороскошнее даже, чем твой вот, сарай твой с рынком, блин. Шиллинг, блин.
Please be here.
Испания, хули. Климат, блядь. О, можно зайти. Чё я торможу, блядь. Простите. А, игрушки! Сейчас меня повяжут.
I'm certain you're everything in here.
Да. А вот его праща.
Please be here.
Порвалась, что ли?
Jack must be here. This thing is far more.
Опа, невеста, блядь, опасно. Надо ее исправить.
Oh, there you are. May I ask?
I was asked.
Yes, my father's not here at the moment, so you'll have to make do with me. Unfortunately, I must disappoint you. There's no...
He must be.
What? Who allowed you inside?
I didn't mean to...
I just hope for your sake. Every piece in there is precious to my father. I'm sorry. I think you should know that Jack and I have promised to... Maybe we should go inside. The sun's burning, and my mother...
Ничего не понял. Они с батей куда?
You're the one who rejected him. And now you want...
I'm here.
Да это понятно, раз ты пришла, это только любовь тебя могла так затащить.
But instead, he found when he and my father met, it was love at first sight.
А, не любовь.
Jack would always start talking about his rib vaults and pointed windows. He'd ramble on about it for hours and stare up at that ceiling. We three sat here for hours and talked so many strange ideas about the future.
You're talking...
Well, my father had offered him work as a monk. He would have been well off and free to spend... But in the end he refused.
Тоже тёлка запала.
Did you really marry his stepbrother?
It was the hardest, but it also felt like a sacrifice I had. It was all... I thought I had no choice. Believe me.
I do.
Да тебе не по барабану, Аиша. Поверит она
He
тебе.
left me because of you.
Да я знаю.
Even after all you did to him, you can be glad.
Ой, прям как я,
Not
блин.
my mother. She was enraged when he left. But apart from that, father even gave him one of his favorite pieces of a small wooden statue with stone.
Would you mind telling me when
he went to work on the cathedral of
Сен-Дени, я так и
He never
знал.
found out about his father. So
Paris.
Yes, if you find him there, tell.
Thank you.
Thank you. What is the child's name?
Well, he hasn't.
Isn't that a bit silly?
But he's his son. It's his right.
Then off to Paris.
He will get one.
В Париж. Но мы туда Офигеть, в Испанию сгоняла, блин. В Париж сгоняла. Охренеть просто.
I travelled back along the way of St. James, passing through Astorga, Lyon and Burgos. I crossed the Pyrenees, revisiting Bordeaux. If Jack really was there... I'd pull him very, very close.
Да, это правда. Как же хорошо. 3 месяца шла, господи. Мелкий уже сам сейчас придет пешком к папке, блядь. И будет с ним уже базарить, блядь. Ну, сначала пешком дойдет, потом будет базарить. Мелкий так и на руках у мамки, блядь, пол Европы уже был, блядь. Круто, блядь. Ну чё, найдем мы папку твоего, мелкий? Капец, блядь. Давай всех спрашивай. Базарить не хочет. Хорошо. Хорошо. Почему он нас не видит? Это хрень.
I can't just leave, even if he deserved. If he's here.
Короче. Вот его резьба. Да я не понял, блядь, что ты не идешь? Как я должен догадаться? И куда мне идти-то? Туда не иди. Какая-то жесть. А.
He would love, there's no doubt. No, they'll only tell me to leave. They always do. If he's here.
Так, я чего-то не понимаю, что ли?
He would love it here. There's no doubt. Jack must be here.
Блин, куда идти-то? Чё она не идет никуда? Ох ты ж, замучена как. Так вот он, сука. Красивая, блядь. Вон же его борода, блядь.
Look at these colorful windows. Look at the light.
Вот так не слышит никак. Ебать! Извините. Да, да. У тебя эмоций что-то маловато, мужик. Я бы от радости тут обосрался, наверное. Я все башку сейчас разбил молотком, потому что эмоции были. Меня сейчас переполнили. Да жить будете, блядь. И баться. И мелкий. Пиздюк. А ты развелась? Оба.
We will.
Наконец-то, блядь. Хоть что-то счастливое, блядь, в этой игре, блядь.
And our son. The days went by
Том,
quickly. Jack had
в
learned
честь
much
деда.
working as a days. Then after a year, we both grew. Where can we go from here? We both confessed that we wanted to see, and then we knew where we wanted home.
Так вы собор построили. Ну, молодцы, это хорошо. Через год уже у вас жопа загорелась. А мелкий, короче, еще в садик не пошел. О.
The ship to England will leave soon.
What's going on?
Whatever it is, if the crowd doesn't clear up, we'll miss our ship.
Что за война, блядь?
Could make the horse get their attention.
Or ride it through.
That sounds...
Yeah.
No, that would only get...
Опять только прощай. Это наше?
Do you know what's going on?
Oh, chaos. I can't get these people to calm down.
What happened?
The jongleur told the crowd a few stories. Then he sold people some... But it was just fairy tales and...
Well, it all...
I know. But I'd need... Otherwise, they'll rip him up...
No.
Oh. What a remarkably...
Do you think this might come?
I've already... It would require a direct word...
She doesn't do anything yet, but if I stood with her where it's... excuse me.
What's going...
He's a thief.
But isn't that just...
That poor man...
Behold the...
If it takes a miracle to make...
You're right. Do you see?
Your friend... Oh, he doesn't...
Need...
What's going on? The Holy Mother. She's crying.
Revere the holy, for she has ceased your doings.
It's true. Warden. Why is she crying?
She weeps for your sins. What has this man done to you that
He tricked us and took our corpse.
and you would kill him for your... The Holy Virgin weep.
It is the Mother of God.
Forgive. Where did she come?
For hundreds of years, dormant, she has been waiting for...
Listen to what he has to say. Tell us all where you are.
О, бесплатно сейчас доедет.
Her destination is beyond these... There she wants.
Kingsbury. Where's that?
Hail!
Make way for the Holy...
Hail!
Make Robert well.
Huh?
Blessed Mary, let my daughter conceive.
Give us a good...
They're donating to ask for her blessing.
Собирай.
The Weeping Madonna. And with your donate, I shall build her a new shrine.
Сейчас бабка что-то отдаст. Это кто? Его бабушка. Его бабушка.
Me, a god.
Наверное.
My husband is very much alive. I've known him since he was 12 years.
But he drowned, by God, 24 years ago. On the white... My poor, poor...
Бабушка.
Jack Sherburg.
Jack Sherburg.
Блядь, жесть какая. Офигеть. На белом корабле он был. Но он выжил, получается. А, его потому и убили, что он какой-то, наверное, непростой чувак, его папа. Ну, вечером узнаем, что там. Филипп, ты уже постарел там, да, братан. Этот уже, наверное, тоже, сука, уже ебаться хочет, пацан. Джонатан. Не, еще нет. Хочет уже. Лет 10. 12. Но мы его... Ну как? Сорняки почистить. Да, надо начинать. Сначала. Сорняки, конечно.
Some... What are weeds? They take away what... light, water.
What do we do?
Pluck them. They look a lot like every other...
А кто решает, почему они сорняки? Потому что они некрасивые.
Let's pluck only those.
I'll do it.
If you insist. Make sure to pull out all...
Работящий. Ему танзуру уже. Дальше. Почву, конечно.
For plants to take root.
So done. What's next?
Stay here.
Семечко чую. Гречки.
Now, where did you... Here they...
У него ж там целое это ведро было. А, недолго хранил. Орешки.
I found these nuts for you. You always said that one day. I think it's about...
А почему у вас что тут людей нет? У вас двое, что ли? О! Карифан. Рыбку он солил.
What did you bring?
Do you remember a kind man? Well, he...
Wow.
Now we...
All right.
Too long for us to keep sitting. something, and only with...
Why do we have to do all these things?
Simply wait. You just pay. They are happening. And in a few days' time...
Oh. Does he make things grow?
You...
No.
Ну ты помог Богу.
Now you can fetch some water from the rain.
But that water's smelly. There are many trees, but I bet that water's...
That's a longer...
I don't mind.
Maybe you're right.
О, мелким дают
Let's walk
погонять.
together then.
But I'll...
Ну, конечно, ты ж мелкий. Так, ребятки, до ночи, до вечера. Это очень интересно.
What?
Поверил в Бога опять. Недостроенный.
Our church... But all of this, these dire times, something that, until...
What do you mean?
You've been praying. But you've been praying like you ought. We don't need a church.
Where else are we going to pray?
The church. God doesn't work. Today, Jonathan tended, and he told me, good and evil, they are with... God made us. Thus we carry. But we have witnessed. Prayer needs no...
Я за добро.
We are God's.
Да, мы
No
храм.
man is closer to God. Whether you pray in church, whether you're a man.
Philip! Look out! You have to see them. You've got to see the horses and the colours.
Jonathan. Now, what's going...
I had noises.
Calm down.
But the priest said they brought a miracle.
Who? What?
О, Джека аж сюда дали.
Brothers, and for you are about to...
Who is that?
They brought us
a miracle.
Don't be... There is no danger.
Да блин, давайте сохранять.
You must be Prior Philip. I am brother. I have been sent by the... Here is his letter.
Да, теперь
We've been
поближе
charged to
пойдем.
accompany. She is to replace the loss of your relic.
What?
On her travel from far away after...
I can't believe this.
You
Почему
do
чепуха?
believe.
Придется поверить.
The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa. A baptized Saracen was her former guardian.
What country?
We have traveled all the way. The faraway land...
Africa has...
Yes. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles.
What's it like?
The sun is all. It's a land of...
Like these horses.
They are not. To you, they might. Many bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me.
You mentioned there were fig trees in Africa. What are
Фиговое
they?
дерево.
It looks like a strawberry.
The scripture mentions these figs.
No two apples look.
I'm getting the impression that this man has... But why would he lie?
But I wondered,
Все.
what shrine
До
should be her
вечера.
shelter? This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions. She said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge."
А где мелкий?
So we set off, with the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy, over the sea, and all the way to Kingsbridge. Devout Christians have given money for the building of the Church of the Weeping Madonna. This Church of Kingsbridge. The Weeping Madonna has chosen you, all of you. I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters. The Weeping Madonna has chosen you, all of you.
Да харе уже. Заколебал.
And I will tell you again. She is a true miracle that will change your life as she changed mine.
There is much to contemplate.
Many bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me. Excuse, don't interrupt. You must wonder. Hey, shh. You must be thinking, how can he be so sure?
Not now.
In the beginning, I was not. I only had my faith. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles. You must wonder.
Все, сохраняемся до вечера.